Hi there, Whisky Hobbit here, and today I'm reviewing Springbank 10-year-old. Um, I was a little bit hesitant to review this just because with Springbank there's a bit of a following. Lots of people love it. It's one of, if not the only kind of main distillery available that still does everything pretty much the way it was about 100 years ago. So they're quite old school. Everything's done by hand. The malting is all done with floor malts, which they've got there. So it's quite a unique old style of whiskey, and it does come through. I would say some people are a little bit biased towards it, to be honest, because it comes from Campbelltown. There's three distilleries in Campbelltown, two of which are by Springbank, basically. So Springbank and Kilkerran, which is Glengyle distillery, and they bought that and then started it up. I think 2000, that sort of time. And yeah, they do really good stuff. But because one of the things I wanted to mention is because with Springbank everything's pretty much done in an old school style of way. It does mean that you end up getting a very different spirit every time, pretty much. Not very different, but batch to batch, Springbank varies more than pretty much any other whiskey I've tried. It's really quite interesting to see how different each batch is and how it changes. It doesn't matter what you get, the 10, the 15, the 12-year-old at cask strength, 18, they do a 21, I think, or was it 25? I think it's a 25? I don't know. I can't remember. But that's the one. The older one is the one that I've never been that interested by. The 18 is always amazing. The 10 is always very good and really good value for money. This was £40, and it's bottled at 46%. It's 10 years old, natural colour, non-chill filtered, all the things you want. I think it's mostly bourbon cask matured from what I remember. I think it's something like 60% bourbon, 40% sherry. I can't remember exactly, but it was a significant amount more of bourbon. I think it might be 80% bourbon. I can't remember, but most of it's bourbon cask matured. That's my kind of Springbanky style that I like. The 15, that's generally got more of a sherry influence. Again, though, the 15 varies from batch to batch, so you got to be careful. But yeah, I've gone with, decided to review the 10. I do have another 10-year-old Springbank, which isn't the normal one. It's called the Marion Strength, which is bottled, I think, is it 51 or something? It's a higher percentage. It's a little bit of a unique thing that you can only generally get in the distillery. Mine's vintage 2016. So I will be reviewing that at some point. That's very good. Quite different, but similar. So yeah. Anyway, enough talk about Springbank and why. I mean, I think they're absolutely brilliant. I think if you want an interesting whiskey, you could literally buy Springbank 10 every time you see it, and it's going to pretty much, every couple of months, it's going to change and it's going to be different. There's going to be elements that you like, elements that you don't like, maybe. It's really good. It's really good. I should really stop saying how good it is. So yeah, on the nose. Now I have left this in the glass for quite a while, just to try and open it up a little bit. It's really, really good. Very kind of like a sweet. There's an apple pie-ness to it, I would say. Like a pastry, definitely. Like a really nice, sweet butter pastry. If I'm honest, there's no smoke. I can't. If there is smoke, it's so dim and quiet that it's really not that obvious. You normally get a little bit of smoke with Springbank, but this one is just sort of not there at all. It's got quite a nice lemoniness to it, like a lemon tart or something. All these flavours that I'm getting from them are quite sweet, I would say. So yeah, it's a little bit sweeter than I was expecting, to be honest. Sorry, one second. uh, I would say there's a slight tropical fruitiness to it, just a little bit, just a hint of like watermelony fruitiness to it, maybe mango, just a little bit. A bit more white chocolatiness to it. It's coming through. So yeah, it's quite a sweet whiskey, to be honest, at least on the nose. It's nice, but yeah, a bit different. Mm. Sorry, I just heard my neighbours there. On the palate, it's quite weird. It really changes quite a bit in the mouth the longer you leave it. It does start off quite a sweet, yeah, sweet chocolatey kind of fruity whiskey, but then it goes quite quickly and suddenly into this more kind of almost slightly bitter barley element. It's kind of two different sides, and it doesn't really. I can't see how they get to each other. It just suddenly changes. There's no sort of transition period. It just flips, and it's quite weird. It becomes a little bit saltier, a little bit more earthy, and kind of old smoke. Yeah, like if you find some logs in the morning after a fire, that kind of old musty smokiness. It's not really. It's really good, but it's not really what I was expecting, which I think is good, to be honest. It's yeah. When did I get this? I can't remember when I got this, and that's the thing. If you can't remember, I don't know if there's a way of telling which batch it is, to be honest, other than writing down when you bought it, and that's the only. I mean, that's in my head the only kind of way you could tell. So good. It's got quite a nice, almost hoppy beeriness to it. Not really hoppy actually, more like a sour beer almost. It's got a beeriness to it. Yeah, kind of a yeasty sweetness. Okay, now it just smells like bread. It smells like fresh white bread. It's really nice. It's yeah. It is there is an element of smoke to it, but it's very, very gentle. I mean, yeah, this is the sort of whiskey that I'm going to spend a lot of time with. It's going to be very, very much appreciated and looked after. Score wise, I'm going to give this 9.3, maybe. I think 9.3 just because value for money, it's absolutely brilliant. £40 or so, 40, £42, I think, roughly. And it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've added a little bit of water to it. It's weird. It's kind of almost immediately changed into a more juicy berry fruitiness to it, kind of blueberry compote or something with lemon. Blueberry compote with lemon. So yeah, Normally I wouldn't add water to this personally. It's 46%. I don't think it needs it that much. It depends how you feel, really. Yeah, it's a lot more chocolatey now. It's quite nice. Okay, so if you do want to add water, it does actually, in my opinion, open it up quite nicely. Makes it a lot more sweet. This for me is quite a sweet whiskey. It's quite creamy as well now. It's actually softened everything down a little bit. Yeah, it's weird how quickly it changes all the time. It's slightly hard to pinpoint what it is, if that makes sense, when it comes to the flavour. Yeah, I'm still going to give it 93. I think it's absolutely brilliant. 93, 9.3. It doesn't really matter. I wanted to originally just give general reviews of, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. But then I started adding points, and now I'm basically doing what everyone does, which is, I'm going to give this 87 out of 100 or whatever. And I didn't really want to do that, but yeah, I might as well. 93, there you go. And if you look at all my previous reviews, if I say a score, just add a 0 at the end of that. Unless I say 9 point. If I say 9.3, just move the decimal to the right. That's all you need to do. So yeah, really, really good stuff. Get a bottle if you don't have one. Just get it. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to review the other one. I might do. See how I feel. But yeah, until next time.